Well, the part of what you're watching is a very important developmental process. Yeah, your teenager is figuring out who they are. Let's unpack it. Identity, hmm, is essentially our sense of who am I? What do I value? What do I believe in? What am I good at? Where do I belong? What kind of a person do I want to become? And please know, identity is not just one thing. It can involve family, friendships, culture, beliefs, interests, abilities, appearance, sexuality or romantic identity, education, future career, and also values. Yeah. So adolescence is a period where our young people start moving from simply being told who they are to actually actively asking themselves who they want to be. And that is a huge developmental shift. So, why do teenagers experiment with different identities? Yeah, this is where now we need to understand. Yeah, parents need to understand instead of finding confusing. So, a teenager might suddenly change, how they dress. They want to try different hobbies. They become passionate about a cause. They suddenly don't want to become a pilot anymore. They now want to become an environmentalist or an engineer. And then also, they also now learn to adopt different opinions, yeah, and experiment how they present themselves. But now, us as parents, you find most times you ask your child, but you used to love that. Even I personally do that sometimes, yeah. What they are doing is they are exploring. So it's like being in a clothing store, yeah. You've gone to a nice store, you've seen dresses, you've seen um, dungarees, you've seen skirts, and you're trying different clothings just to see what fits and what looks good on you. Yeah, so you have to try it. It's exactly the same concept with them. They try different things just to see who they are. They are trying to discover where they fit. So what happens is you'll find that some things stick but some don't. Yeah, they get discarded, and that's okay because exploration is not necessarily confusion. Sometimes exploring is how they discover what they really like and who they are. Yeah, so we also need to understand that they don't develop identity in isolation. Yeah, they observe a lot of people. They observe who they want to be like, they observe who they admire, they observe who they relate to, they also observe where they fit. And friends provide opportunities to explore all of these questions. Yeah, maybe one group makes them feel they are so funny. Yeah, they are the when they're there, it's a chuckle fest. Yeah, and then another group sees how amazing they are in maybe social studies. Yeah, they think he or she is intelligent. Yeah, and you find that another sporting category maybe makes them feel athletic. And maybe if they're into the arts, you find that another group makes them feel creative. Yeah, so sometimes you find that they change their friend groups because they are discovering the different parts of themselves. We're not just one thing. Yeah, so this is also why friendship is so powerful. Yeah, the peers aren't just people you're hanging out with, they are a part of the environment in which you're figuring yourself out. Now, the juicy part is that parents often want their children to become successful, responsible adults. Yeah, but the teenagers might be thinking, I want to decide who I am. Yeah, and this is where now you get the conflict over why are you dressed like that? You're not stepping out of my house dressed like that. The teenager, what the teenager is hearing from you is that, oh, my parents don't accept me. Yeah. And then now you find the parents saying, why can't you be more like your sister, cousin, auntie, friend, or whatever? Yeah. What the teenager is hearing is that you are saying that who I am is not good enough. Yeah. And then maybe you find these parents who say, your father is a doctor. I'm a doctor. You must be a doctor. Yeah. Our family is a family of doctors. But now the teenager is thinking, that's not my dream. In fact, I don't even like the sight of needles. Yeah. So obviously, parents do have a role in setting boundaries and guiding their children. But there is a very clear difference between guiding identity development and trying to completely construct your child, yeah, into an identity that fits what you want for them. Mm. So then what do we do as adults? What do we do as parents? What do we do as teachers? Yeah. What you do is you give them room to explore. Yeah. Of course, within appropriate boundaries. Let them try all the things that they want to try because they have very different interests. Don't strictly demand that, every experiment becomes now a lifelong commitment. Yeah, they're into hockey now, and then you're like, oh, my child is gonna be a hockey player, international. They'll probably be liking tennis the next semester. You have no idea. Yeah. And then another thing that you need to do is ask questions instead of immediately judging. So instead of saying things like, why are you suddenly dressing like that, you can just ask them something like, what do you like about this style? Yeah. Instead of saying, how come you don't want to be a doctor no more? You can say something like, what are you thinking of doing instead? Yeah. You, in essence, are also learning your child. Yeah. Your teenager. You are learning about the person that they are becoming. Yeah. So don't make love conditional, especially on achievement. Your teenager needs to know that they can disappoint their parent without losing their love. Yeah. This does not mean that there are no consequences. Yeah. It means that their worth is not dependent on getting everything right. Yeah. Give them space to explore without feeling disappointed. Oh, I've spent so much money on this sport, or this instrument that they've been learning, and now they want to switch. Oh, this is so bad. It's really not about you, it's about them becoming. Yeah. Then what we need to do next is that we need to give them responsibilities. Yeah. Identity develops also partly through experience. So let them contribute. Let them make age appropriate decisions and let them experience the consequences of their decisions. You're helping them develop the answer to what kind of person am I? Yeah. So the deeper message here is that if your teenager seems different lately, don't automatically assume something has gone wrong. Yeah. Sometimes what you're seeing is a young person experimenting, questioning, comparing, discovering, and slowly putting together the pieces of who they are. Your job is not to hand your teenager a complete identity. You play this sport, you will become this career. That's not your job. Your job is to give them enough safety, guidance, and freedom to discover one. Yeah. And because one day they are going to leave your home, they will need to still make decisions without you. The goal is for them to become um, a healthy, responsible person who um, knows who they are and what they stand for, not an exact replica of you. I hope that helps. If you like the content, subscribe, share, like. And thank you so much for coming to Mentally Unpacked. I will see you on the next one.